Sheldon, before the game, you were talking about how you expect a tough game here today against Belleville, but were you anticipated things to sort of get as chaotic as it did in the first period and then to a lesser extent throughout the game?
Yeah, I was expecting a pretty chaotic game. That's how they've been all season.
And just in terms of this game being sort of a tune-up looking ahead to the playoffs, you feel confident heading into next weekend against Utica?
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to take too much out of a game like today. Obviously we're going to be playing a playoff caliber team that's focused in the playoffs. This is game 76 against a non-playoff team. It's not nearly what you're going to get when we play next Saturday. So we know it gets a lot better. I think last weekend was more of an indication of what we'll expect. Obviously, we played Utica and Rochester there, and we're just ready to go, ready to turn the page on all of this here and have a good week of practice and prepare for our opponent.
But a lot of young guys make their debut over the last month and a half. But what did you think of the way Ian Scott played in net today?
I thought he was terrific. Obviously, it's a difficult circumstance for a goalie to come in a game like this when we have a lot of our regulars not playing and we're not nearly as organized, or we looked like a team that doesn't practice together out there a lot of the time, and tough on the goaltender. But I thought he was excellent. He looked confident to me. He made a lot of great saves. He had the battle right to the very end. So it was a really nice debut for him. I'm sure that'll really help his confidence going forward. And that's what we're hoping would come out of this.
Seemed to be an exchange of words between you and Belleville's head coach. Can you repeat any of what you said, or is that between you two?
Yeah, I would say it's between us. Yeah.
With your team kind of having a large roster now, does it kind of feel like you have a developmental roster and also a Calder Cup one? So is that kind of hard to balance?
It's not hard to balance. Scott Bellerin is here, and he's in charge of that other group, the development group. Those guys are in and out of the building, before our players arrive. So they're doing their thing. He's obviously doing a tremendous job with those guys because they're able to step in and play in a game like this and allow us to still be competitive. I think it's a great program that we have in place there. Obviously, those guys will stay ready if and when we may need them. But we're focused on our group here. We know who our group is, and we'll move forward with those guys, and that's who I'll be seeing every day.
Pierre Engvall is starting to really get some confidence offensively and such. Is he someone that you expected to be performing the way he has, or has this been a pleasant surprise?
Well, you know what? I think he had a great year this year in a very good league over in Sweden. He made the jump to the top league in Sweden and was very productive after coming off a tough injury. So we were very intrigued on what he was going to be able to bring, and I think it's been a process for him, just game over game, trying to improve, but he's been able to find ways to contribute, and obviously we know the games are going to get a lot more competitive, a lot harder. But we like what we see with him for sure. We've been very, very pleased with the fact that he's been able to step in and take advantage of the opportunities we've given him.
What were your thoughts on Marchman, Brooks, and Bracco today? They were thrown around quite a bit. Bracco the winner. What was your overall thoughts on it?
Yeah, I thought they kind of felt their way through the first part of the game. It's a tough game for any of the guys that are our regulars. I think this is a tough game to get into mentally. You look around the room, there's not a lot of familiar faces. Those are young guys that have really relied on the leadership and the presence of some of our older guys, and then they're not here, and all of a sudden they're taking on bigger roles. So a little bit outside their comfort zone, but I think it's big. It's important for their development. I was trying to push them to really step up in a game like this here today and take advantage of that opportunity. And, obviously we didn't have a lot happening positively on our power play today. We looked a little unorganized, but that group was able to get us 2 goals in the power play. Bracco was able to get the game-winning goal. So that's what you're looking to see in these types of games, is people to step up when they're asked to. And I was happy that they found a way to get us the win here today.
It seems like a lot of players are right now, even heading to the playoffs, playing some of their best hockey. Any particular ones stand out to you?
I think our group's in a good place. It's been a challenging month, I would say, here. Obviously, there's been very few nights where we've dressed what I would call our top lineup or our best lineup. We've been resting people. We've played 3-3s and all those types of things. But we just feel our team is in a good place. But most importantly, I think we're just ready to play the games, the playoff games, and we're ready to get through this segment of the schedule here, close the book on the regular season. We accomplished a lot of really great things, a lot of things to be proud of. But now everything resets itself back to zero. We got to reestablish ourselves. We're going to play a very good, very competitive Utica team that is going to be the deepest, most talented group that we've seen from them this season. So we're looking forward to having a good week and preparing for a battle here.
Is it challenging to sort of indoctrinate some of these players who are just joining the team right before the playoffs into the systems and into the momentum in the locker room and everything?
Yeah, it's a challenge, but the guys, I focus mainly on Engvall and Grunstrom. The two very talented people that are difference makers, and to be able to bring them in, their talent takes them a long way, and we can show them those details here and there that they can adjust to. That's why having a good week of practice like we just had last week, and then this week coming in here, it's going to really help those guys. But it is a challenge, but it's the American Hockey League, and there's a lot of challenges like that you need to deal with, and I don't think we're unique in that regard. I think a lot of teams would go through that.